I brought with me today something for you to check out. This is a handful of seeds, and this is a handful of weeds. You might not know it just by looking at it, but when they start growing, one of them is going to turn into fruits and vegetables, and the other, it's just going to grow into a hot mess that's going to ruin your yard. One of them you can eat and enjoy. It will nourish you and fill up your stomach. These are good seeds. The other, not so much. You'll sweat and work hard to pull out of the ground everything that's there, and you just hope that you can get rid of them all. Our life is filled with planting seeds. Not the literal seeds that you see here, but rather we do something. We plant the seed, and that causes another thing to happen. Something grows. Here are some examples for you. Maybe you worked hard on a school project, planted that seed, and you got a good grade from it. You grew like an A+. Maybe you've been physically working out regularly, planting a seed, and your body is growing healthier. Or maybe you've been spending a lot of time with a friend, and your relationship is growing stronger. Pause here and just think for a moment. Think about something that you've put a lot of effort into, or a seed that you've planted in your life. What grew out of that effort that you gave? David's life was full of planting seeds. Some of them were great things, like volunteering to fight Goliath or choosing to live faithfully as God's next king of Israel. These are seeds that David planted that grew into great things, both for him and for the people around him. But some of the seeds that David planted, the choices that he made, they weren't so great. One time specifically, David chose to plant a really bad seed in his life. In fact, he chose to do 3 things that God said to specifically not do. And then he tried to cover them up so no one would know about it. But even in trying to hide those sins, bad things still grew out of them. David's house, it was filled with violence, bad choices, and one of his sons even died, all because of a few bad choices, the sins that he committed against God. Sin is like a weed. When we take time in our lives to live in a way that God says not to, we're planting that seed and something will grow out of it. What grows from sin, it isn't great. In fact, it can be painful to you, hurtful to others, and it can damage your relationship with God. Sin is a seed we don't want to plant, and if we do, something will come out of it, either right now or later on. Pause right here and think to yourself, have you done something in your life that you knew wasn't right to do? How did you feel after planting that seed, and what grew out of that choice? So I guess I'm curious, what seeds are you planting in your life right now? God tells us in His Word that there is a right way to live. God gives us rules to follow and guidelines to live by. He even gives us the 10 Commandments as concrete rules not to break. When we do go against what God says, we are sinning. And just like David, every single one of us struggles with sin. Even though we mess up sometimes, sinning in small ways and sometimes in really big ways, we should try to live like the Bible says. Love the Lord your God. Keep His commandments, His decrees, His laws, and His commands always. We won't always do it perfectly, but we can keep trying to plant good seeds, living in good ways, so that what grows around us is honoring to God and shows love to others.